lovelies, welcome back to another video. My name is Jade Shinu and I help people reclaim back their power physically, mentally and spiritually. Now today I'm going to be sharing a really powerful yet simple spell of how to actually use your plants for protection. Now this actually stems back to a really old occultic practice that isn't really well known. I haven't seen it mentioned probably anywhere else except for 1 or 2 books. For people who have a lot of plants or even animals or even pets, back in the day, witches and occultists, good and bad, would use their familiars or plants as a way to kind of safeguard their own self. So what they would do is they're basically called scapegoats. So you would use your plants or familiar as vibrational, karmic scapegoats. So if you were a negative witch or occultist or whatever, you could actually spin off your own bad karma onto your familiar or onto plants or even onto people. So the darkest occultic practice is people would initiate others into their coven or even into an ashram or whoever. So it spans from all traditions and religions. And they would actually trick people into taking the gurus or the master or, the priestess, whoever the, top person was. They would trick these people into taking their vibrational karma. So they would use very advanced and very dark occultic spells to push all of their negative karma onto their initiates. And this is how a lot of people, who are mean, high up, etc., escape bad karma, is they put it onto other people. So obviously I will not be going too much into that, as I believe in white magic only, because I don't believe you can actually ever escape true bad karma, because I feel like when you die, it will come back onto your next life, etc. But I don't think that's a good enough reason to avoid doing bad things anyway, just because of the fear of it coming back to you. I don't believe in an eye for an eye, etc. I believe that in order to get rid of darkness, you need to be a light. We have enough darkness. We have enough. I see it's very petty and immature, basically. So I think the best way to go about this is to use your plants as a form of protection. Because unfortunately, in day-to-day, life, you will get thrown hexes, curses, evil eye, in all types, in all forms. And remember, anyone can hex you. Anyone can send you bad energy. They don't have to be a witch or even, into any sort of spiritual or occultic practices. Just someone thinking badly of you is a very mild form of a hex. Someone cursing you, that's why it's called cursing. So when someone is like swearing and like cursing at you, so aggressively calling you horrible things, that's why it's called cursing, because they are actually sending you bad energy to you. So a lot of the time you'll be able to bounce it off if you are in a high vibrational place. However, if you are going through any sort of sickness, if you are a bit weak, if you are physically impaired, if you are mentally a bit drained that day, it can have some sort of, effect on your life. It'll be a lot easier to do for women, this spell, as opposed to men, and you'll see why in a minute. So basically, what you will need to do is you will need to obviously have plants, and don't think that this is like, being cruel to the plants or, killing the plants, etc. Because it's not, because it's a form of exchange. Because what you are going to be doing is basically, what you need to have is some water. So when you water your plants, as a woman, you need to put your own menstrual blood. It sounds weird and gross, but your menstrual blood is extremely healthy for plants. So I won't get into the science, but there's a lot of scientific research actually backing this up. Many people do this anyway, just because they know it helps plants grow and actually heals them from other things, etc. So basically what you need to do is put some of your blood, dilute it in with some water, and then just water your plants. But basically what you need to do is you have to have that intent. So remember, your intention is what activates magic. tenfold. So if you're doing something with an intention, if you're doing something intentionally, then that is what creates magic, because you have now put that out into the universe and into your space. So basically you need to water your plants, and what the blood does is it's now forming a bond. So that plant has now a part of you within it. It now has your own DNA into it. So if you are getting hexes or negative energy coming at you, instead of it going directly all onto you, it will go onto the plant instead. So this is a good way to know if someone is like hexing you, or if something bad is happening, is you may notice one day that one of your plants just randomly dies. And I don't mean because you've over or underwatered it, and it will be typically, try to do this on plants that aren't difficult to kill. Otherwise, you know, of course they might just die, and it won't be because of that. But do it on plants that are already happy in their space. They don't move. You obviously regularly water them, you know, all the time. And if any of them then starts to like go a bit strange, that will be a sign that maybe some negative energy has been sent to you, and the plant is, you know, lovingly taking on the karma for you. Not even the karma, it's taking on the negative energy for you. And you won't get bad karma for doing this, because you are actually gifting your blood to the plant. Because blood is so sacred and it's precious. It's literally like your energy. It's full of energy. So the plant will be grateful for that, because it basically helps it thrive, and it's very healing for the plant. Some people even use urine. I have not done that, but I did actually know a gardener, funny enough, who would always put his own urine on his own plants in his garden. And he had the most beautiful garden like I've ever seen. Everything was like thriving. And I was like, what do you do? Like, what do you keep, you know, how do you keep your plants so like vibrant? And he was like, oh, I piss on them. He literally pisses on his plants. So you could always try that if you're a man. But if you want to do the blood methods, I mean, I've tried and tested it and it 100% works. If you're a man, just prick your finger. You know, please don't, you know, fucking slit your wrist. You don't need loads of blood, okay? You just need a tiny bit. Like 1 drop of your blood has such a huge like imprint of your energy. So if you're doing it just for like spell reasons, etc., like you don't need much, you just need a little bit. And of course you won't get bad karma as long as you love your plants. So you look after your plants every single day. Like I know I take care of my plants a lot. So that's the way of exchange. So you don't get bad karma if it's balanced energy. So if the plants, you know, I mean, they may not even get sick, or, you know, hopefully, God forbid, they don't. But this is a good way to protect yourself if you feel like you're under attack, if you feel like you have a lot of toxic people around you. Like, you don't always have to do this. You can just gift, you know, your blood to your plants, like loads of people do, just to help them thrive and heal. But this may happen anyway without them even realizing. If something really bad like comes to them and their energy is not strong enough to like, you know, bounce it back off. You know, it's a very sacred thing. So if you have a really deep bond with your plants, they will love you. Like plants aren't, you know, sentient in the way that we are or how animals are. However, they are conscious. Like they do have a sense of their own independent, you know, special consciousness, you know, their energy, basically, they are alive. So this is why they respond to people talking to them lovingly. Like if you always talk to your plants, you give them a lot of love, you know, you play nice music for them, they do thrive, they do grow like really well. Very beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful spell to do, and it makes you bonded to your plants even more. And if they do pass away, you know, just be very grateful, be very, very, very thankful for it. And in exchange, you know, do a lot of, you know, work with nature. So another thing that you can do to make your plants more happy, because everything is connected, okay? So they'll know your vibration. Everything knows what energy and vibration you're on, especially plants and animals. And of course, your spirit guides and entities, etc. What you can do is be very respectful to nature. Really look after animals in the wildlife, you know, and that sort of thing. Something I like to do is rescue bees and butterflies, you know, any sort of insect I find that's, you know, hurt, birds, etc. Like, just always be there. Just always be a guardian of Mother Earth. Always be a guardian and just show loads of affection, loads of nurturing, you know, nurture Earth, protect her, protect its, you know, beings to the best of your ability. You know, try to be vegan, try to be vegetarian, you know, don't needlessly abuse and exploit animals and their lives, etc. Everything has to be done with pure intentions, okay? Everything. So don't go around hitting trees, okay? Don't throw rocks at them, you know, show trees a lot of love and respect, a lot of respect. Hug them. You know, this is why you can get so much energy and healing from trees. You know, they want to heal you, they want to protect you. And this will actually get you fast respect from the Fae, nature spirits. Because the Fae, typically, they don't like humans, obviously. Because look what humans do to the earth. Look how humans are treating nature. Look how humans are like destroying our planets. Look how they are destroying animals. Because the Fae, so nature spirits, their number one priority and love is nature and animals. So if you are abusing or exploiting that, they'll instantly know, because they can read you. They telepathically can like read your blueprint, if that makes sense. They know your vibration and they know what sort of human you are. So if you're someone who's very interested in the Fae and nature spirits and you want to connect with them, you need to be like, you have to have the same vibration as them, basically. And I'll do a more in-depth video about this, but, you know, the basics are, you know, be vegan, don't exploit animals, you know, be vegan as much as, you know, practical, etc. Love nature, look after it, respect it, have loads of plants around you. If you have a garden, plant loads of like flowers, you know, primroses, you know, flowers that will help feed bees and insects and create homes, you know, feed birds, feed squirrels, you know, if you have any sort of nature, wildlife coming to you. You know, all these little things are like rituals. You know, this can be like spells, and, you know, being a witch isn't just about doing spells in a cauldron and candle magic and all that stuff. Like, every little thing in your life can be a spell. So true witches know this. It's not just something you do now and then. It's literally your whole existence. It's your whole entire being. So literally everything is a ritual, everything, okay? Because you're putting love, it's your frequency, it's your vibration, okay? So you're putting love into everything you do. So becoming a true, you know, high vibrational witch or occultist or whatever is truly having that love and respect for nature, animals, humans, you know, everything, okay? It's being pure of hearts. So that's basically it. So of course, with the spell, all you got to do is water your plants with a few drops of your period bloods or your own blood if you're a man, and hold the water between your hands, bless it and give it intentionally to your plants, and thank your plants. Every time you pour in it, thank them for protecting you. So what you say is, thank you so much for protecting me. I truly appreciate it. I'm so grateful. I love you. Thank you so much. So just give it a lot of love, a lot of gratitude. And do this to every plant, every single one. So it may take a while if you have a lot of plants like I do. So, and that's pretty much it. So if you have, if you're a woman, the easiest way to collect your period bloods is obviously using a menstrual cup. So even if you don't like using those, maybe just wear one for like a few hours, depending how heavy you are, just to collect a little bit that you could then use, you know, in the water. And yeah, best time to do this will be probably full moon and new moons, just because things are way more heightened at that time. So we do have a new moon coming up, obviously on the 11th. And this is why it's very good and beneficial to sync to the moon if you're a woman with your menstrual cycles. I myself always sync with a new moon. So I don't normally do like a big sort of spells, etc. until new moons. I normally wait, as I do a lot of blood magic with my own menstrual bloods. And I'll wait until I come on basically and do it around the new moon. And you don't have to do it directly on the new moon or full moon. You can do it 3 days prior or 3 days, you know, afterwards. It still has that sort of strong energy around it. And springtime is probably the best time to do it, because springtime is when like the fae and nature spirits are like coming alive again, and the veil is at its thinnest between our world and their worlds, because nature has like come back to life. So they love this time. Also Halloween, but that's probably with other realms. So much love to you. If you want to check out the services I provide, I will link that all into one link in the description box below. I do one-to-one oracle card readings. I also do art services, and I have a few ebooks. So one of them is for free to help you open your third eye. So please check that out. And until next time, lots of love to you. Ahimsa.